Hi everyone, how are you? We're going to do a little bit of math today. We're going to do a 3-digit multiplication number times a 2-digit multiplication. And we're going to use the area model today. So what I'm going to do for you is make up a problem. So today we're going to do 243 times 24. I'm going to start out with some smaller numbers. Now, we know when we are doing 243 times 24, that means that we're trying to find 24 groups of 243. That's a lot. And that is why doing repeated addition is not going to be our quickest strategy. So what we're going to do is we're going to break that number apart into smaller pieces so that it's easier to multiply, and then add those partial products or those smaller pieces together to get a final product. So to do that today, I'm going to use the area model. So over here, I'm going to create a little bit of a bigger area. And because the top number in our problem, 243, has 3 digits, I actually need to separate this into 3 different areas. And then because our bottom number has 2 and we break that apart into 10s and 1s, I need to have 2 going down the side. So at the top, we're going to start with the 243, and we're going to break that up into expanded form. So when the 2 sits in the hundreds place, it is worth 200. Plus when the 4 sits in the tens place, it is worth 40. And then when the 3 sits in the ones place, it is worth 3. And that is how we're going to represent 243. Then along the left side, we are going to represent 24. So when the 2 is in the tens place, it's worth 20. Plus when the 4 is in the ones place, it is worth 4. So as you can see, I have broken apart 243 and 24 into its place value. That way it's easier for us to multiply the smaller pieces to get those partial products and then add them together to get a complete product. So we read this like a multiplication grid, and we're going to use our basic facts and add the zeros. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 200 times 20. And I know that 2 times 2 is 4. And then there are 1, 2, 3 zeros. So using that basic fact and adding the zeros to help us do our multiplication. And that's 4,000. Then I'm going to keep moving to the right, and I'm going to do the 40 and 243 times the 20 and 24. So 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 zeros is 800. And finally, I'm going to do the 20 times the 3. So I'm going to do 2 times 3, which is 6. And then add that 1 zero from the 20, and we get 60. So I have now multiplied everything from 243 times 20. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply every place from 243 times the 4 in the ones place. So 2 times 4 is 8. And I'm going to add those 2 zeros, and I get 800. Then 4 times 4 is 16, plus a 0, and I get 160. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So you guys can see here that we have a lot of partial products. We have 4,000, 860, another 800, 160, and 12. And as most of you probably know, we're going to add all those partial products up, and we will get a final product. So I'm running out of a little bit of space. So what I'm going to do over here is just erase this original problem. Okay, that looks good. And then go back and let's make this one big stacked addition problem. So let's do 4,000. I'm going to start with my highest place value, plus 800, plus another 800, plus 160, plus 60 plus 12. Wow, that's a lot of partial products there. Okay, now I made sure that my numbers were lined up the best I could. I know I'm using my finger, so it's a little tough. And we're just going to add the ones first. So zeros all the way down plus 2, we have 2. Then we have in our tens, 6 plus 6, which equals 12. And 12 plus 1 equals 13. Regroup that one. Oops, it's kind of hard. Okay, then I know 8 plus 8 is 16. And then I'm going to add that 1 from the top, which makes it 17, plus the 1 below it, which makes it 18. And regroup that 1. And then 1 plus 4 equals 5. Our total product is 5,832. Now, you all know that there are plenty of ways we could check that. We could do partial products, and if we did, we should come up with these same exact 6 partial products to add, or we could use parentheses and again come up with those same 6 partial products to add. I'm not going to do that today, only because we just don't have the space on the screen. But I would suggest that when you practice 3-digit times 2-digit, you definitely check your work and make sure that you're coming up with the accurate answer. And I'm sure that you guys can kind of see that if we were then going to do 3-digit times 3-digit, which we can try that as well soon, you would have 3 columns going across and then 3 columns going down. And you would just be adding some extra partial products to add. And it's just a little bit of, extra work and extra steps. But you guys, once you know the strategy and breaking them apart by place value and then adding the partial products, you can pretty much multiply any numbers that you want to now using the same exact strategy every time. So I know a lot of you like the area model. I went with that today, but you use whatever strategy works for you. I hope you enjoyed our lesson, and we will soon come back and practice with some new numbers and also review some of the things that we've been doing in the past. Try some at your house. Maybe download the app, share your videos with me. They're kind of fun to make. And do some practice. Practice those multiplication facts and practice those longer problems, and you're just going to get better and better and better. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.